I'm meteorologist Ryan Leach, and this is the fire weather briefing for Thursday, July 19th, 2018. Jump straight into the most impactful weather that we have in the forecast. It will be tomorrow or Friday afternoon through Saturday. On the left, I have a graphic depicting the minimum relative humidity expected Friday afternoon, and on the right is the forecast wind speeds about Friday afternoon and early Friday evening. And the scenario that we have with this, I'll show in a little bit more detail on the next slide, is there's a dry cold front with a good jet stream support coming through and a very dry air mass. And that's going to be drawing the relative humidities in the area Friday afternoon down into the 10 to 15% range in a lot of places. It is possible, it's not expected, but it is possible that some areas will drop below 10% for a short while. On the other hand, on the right you can see the forecast wind speeds. Up along the ridge tops and some of the higher elevations you'll see that darker green colors reflecting a 20 to 25 mile per hour wind speed forecast. Down in most of the valleys and the lower elevations we're looking in that 15 to 20 mile an hour wind speed forecast with the dry cold front as it moves through. But this is really going to be more than just an afternoon and evening type weather event with that dry cold front coming through. We expect it to continue through Friday night and into Saturday. So this is midnight Saturday. The coloring in the background is the relative humidity forecast at roughly about 5,000 feet. So this is a model depiction. It sort of broad brushes things across. The valleys will see better relative humidity recoveries than this. They'll probably be closer to the 50 to 60%, maybe some locations in northwest Montana even upwards of 70% in the valleys for their relative humidity recovery. But just want to draw your attention to basically the Stevensville, Missoula, and Cedar Lake Ranger districts especially, but also down into most of southwest Montana. As we go through Friday night into Saturday, that dry cold front is going to progress across the area slowly. It's got good support from an upper level jet stream. So on the mid and upper level slopes, we're really looking at humidity recoveries only in that low 30s, low 30% range, with breezy conditions lasting throughout the night. And then Saturday, I don't have any graphics for what we expect Saturday, but Saturday will be very similar to Friday in terms of minimum relative humidity and the wind speeds, but just not quite as bad. So you add a few, maybe 5% to your relative humidity and knock a few miles per hour off of the wind speeds from Friday, and you've basically got your forecast for Saturday. As we go on into next week, a ridge across the southwest U.S. builds back up over the northern Rockies. That'll be the dominant factor in our weather. That'll help drop the winds down for the beginning of next week. Also, you may be aware that the southwest monsoon is in full swing. There's a potential for some of that moisture to come up into southwest Montana. It will very likely cause the relative humidities to increase. It may also cause some thunderstorms down in southwest Montana on the Tuesday, Wednesday timeframe. Right now, that really falls into the realm of what's possible and not really what's expected. So we basically expect it to stay warm and dry for the beginning and first half of next week. Moving out into the 8 to 14 day outlooks, chances remain good that we will be above normal temperatures and below normal for precipitation or rain. So we're going to continue with this warm, dry pattern, help keep progressing us on into fire season and help keep the fuels curing and whatnot. So basically for the next 2 weeks, the theme is warm and dry with a breezy weekend straight ahead of us right now. So looking at the fire weather threat matrix, we went ahead and elevated conditions to moderate for Friday and Saturday. In terms of red flag warnings, the wind speeds and the relative humidities really fall on a very marginal, they're marginal, but they're very marginal for a red flag. That's why we opted to go with moderate instead of high in most of these areas. The exception being west central Montana, especially that Sapphire Mountain Range as we start to head into some of the Beaverhead and Deer Lodge forecast areas, as well as the Stevensville Ranger District. And that west central Montana area for Saturday, with that Friday night into Saturday, with that dry cold front coming through, the breezy conditions expected to last all night, I thought that was worthy of a high. for the fire weather threat matrix. And then for Sunday into early next week, basically it'll be warm and dry, but we won't have that wind component. So we went ahead and decided to go with a low fire weather threat for that time period. So our next briefing is scheduled for Sunday, July 22nd. In the meantime, if you have any questions or concerns or would like a more detailed forecast, please give us a call at 406-329-4716 or submit a spot forecast. Thank you.